While their high subscriber and view counts may paint the picture of two uncontroversial people, Packymator and ASTONEWEEG'S are two of the most notable figures in the object show community's drama in recent memory. One has been caught stealing a video from someone else, the other has made art of their original character, or OC, killing someone else's OC. One has attempted to end drama with a shout-out, the other has guilt-tripped other people. So today, we shall be examining these two controversial people individually, with as much detail as needed. Let us begin with Packymator. This is Packymator's YouTube channel, which currently has about 1.6 thousand subscribers at the time of writing. The channel only has 18 uploads, but has been around since January of 2020, and didn't have any uploads until June of 2020. So what's going on here? Well, it seems that quite a few of Packymator's older videos have been deleted, for whatever reason. Two of those deleted videos are important to our story, but we'll come back to them. Let's now discuss those 18 uploads to the Packymator channel. With one exception to this rule, every single video on the channel is under 40 seconds long. These videos all consist of short animations or drawings, whether they are made by Packymator himself or are taken from someone else. One video in particular, entitled Thank You for 7 Months, is simply a static drawing of Packymator's OC while the Abba Cabba theme tune plays, along with some text at the end. Unfortunately, there aren't many other noteworthy videos on the channel, mainly due to the low amount of videos. At least, there aren't many that haven't been deleted. It's high time that we discuss the first controversy that concerns Packymator and his content. This is Derekinge, a YouTube account with about 4.3 thousand subscribers at the time of writing, and 42 videos. His style of content is similar to Packymator's, with short animations being the main focus. Unlike the more controversial Packymator, Derekinge is a more well-respected animator in the object show community, with no real dramas to their name, until this. On the 24th of July 2020, Derekinge uploaded a video titled BFDI Fanny Hates Everything, which features the character Fanny going on a rant about why they hate everything. This rant is originally voiced by a YouTuber named Senor Pello. The video was a remastering of a previous animation, also titled BFDI Fanny Hates Everything, that was uploaded by Derekinge on the 8th of October 2018. Now here is where it gets interesting. 3 days after Derekinge's remaster, Packymator uploaded a video titled I Hate Everything Remastered. This video attracted quite a few skeptical comments, who believed that this was not a remaster, but rather a direct re-upload. Now, a completely direct re-upload is not possible on the site, as YouTube will prevent an upload that looks exactly the same to another one. However, Packymator cut out a small portion at the end of the video, letting the video sneak past the detection and get uploaded. For our purposes, we shall now take a look at the two videos side by side.
Ah! I hate everything! I hate whites! I hate men! I hate straight! I hate you! And I hate pineapple! Eat my pizza!
The video was taken down by Packymator and an apology was uploaded entitled I'm sorry, goodbye, final video. The video consists of a zoom in on Packymator's OC while a text-to-speech bot says, I am sorry for doing that video thing. I wanted to make Derekinge proud that I improved his animation. This video was criticised due to its use of the word improved to describe the upload. As to many, it certainly did not look like an improvement. This video was also taken down, and it would not be Packymator's last, as the title indicated. Very soon after the apology/farewell was uploaded, a new video was released titled I'm Not Leaving, plus animation test. This was another highly criticised video, as it went back on what was stated in the previous video. It also became a small inside joke amongst Packymator's non-supporters, who would say things such as, Packymator, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. Packymator 0.000000001 seconds later, hey guys, I'm back. In the comment section of one of the videos talking about the incident, Packymator attempted to reconcile the drama by giving a shout out to one of the commenters, which was quickly declined. And that's about everything that is worth mentioning about this scandal. It's now time to talk about another individual who has a negative past with Packymator. This is Ryzen347 Animations, a YouTube channel with around 231 subscribers and 127 videos at the time of writing. Ryzen's content is incredibly similar to Packymator's and Dereking's, with short animations being the focus. However, there was one upload which stood out, a video titled Talking About Packymator. This video was uploaded around August of 2020 and details a few instances of attention seeking, lying, and being rude to people. Here is the video in its entirety to show you what I mean. In an interview I conducted with Ryzen, he mentioned that he first found out about Packymator via the drama with Dereking's, and the main reason his video was created was because of Packymator's conduct at a group chat, which was created as a way to, quote, hang out. The full interview can be found in the top right corner of the screen. However, it doesn't seem as though there were any other disagreements between Packymator and Ryzen. Now, we shall move on to the last chapter for this part, which shows all of the other things that Packymator has been accused of. For a certain period of time, Packymator was an animator in the now defunct object show Brawl for Paradise, or BFP, created by fellow controversial OSC YouTuber MewAnimates. He has been involved in numerous incidents such as tracing allegations, poor moderation on his now deleted Discord server, and much more, but that's a topic for another time. So, Packymator became an animator for BFP during production of BFP 2, and went on without much to write home about until the 3rd of September of this year. On this fateful day in the BFP crew server, Packymator alleged that another user on the server, Grey Match, traced their profile picture from, quote, a friend. This was quickly challenged by a user named TestUsername181, who I interviewed for the purposes of this video. In the interview, they showed me a few screenshots of the confrontation, as well as how a few people attempted to calm the situation. The full interview can be watched in the top right corner of the screen. After the confrontation took place, Packymator changed his profile picture and username to pretend that his account was deleted, but this did not work. There are a few other allegations that have been made against Packymator, including forcing people to work on BFP, manipulating fanbases, and guilt tripping, but we won't go into too much detail because there isn't much to observe. It's time to conclude. Packymator is undeniably an interesting character, based on the way he acts around other people, his oddly aggressive claims of being 13, and seemingly a lack of exposure for the things he's done. Here's what I mean. If you go onto YouTube right now and type, say, ASTONEWEEG'S, you'll see plenty of results detailing the things that ASTONEWEEG'S has done. However, the same can't be said for Packymator, as searching his name reveals plenty of videos that are made in a positive light. Now, this isn't to say that people can't talk about someone positively, but it's interesting that someone with a moderate history of drama has a lack of videos talking about it. But I did find one video, by a YouTuber named Supernormal. So, in conclusion, while Packymator hasn't received too much attention from people over the last couple of months, they still have an interesting story to tell. That was part 1. Part 2 will follow in a few minutes, but now it's time for the interlude.
If you think this show is gonna make anybody but me a millionaire, then you don't know shit!
That's it. She.
Camera am I looking
This
into?
one.
Hey guys, I want to talk about
Content Journalist is supported by previewers such as OllieB6666, BB4Life7, Abdul Draws, Regular Breadface, Derekinge, Flickmo, Bobazeeb, Telekiwi, Shadowcow, and Highman. Thank you all for supporting Content Journalist. Now, it's time to talk about ASTONEWEEG'S, and if you thought Packymator was problematic, then there's something else coming for you. This is ASTONEWEEG'S YouTube channel, which has a very respectable amount of subscribers. It's not entirely certain as to why ASTONEWEEG'S got so popular in comparison to other OSE YouTubers, but one reasonable guess may be the fact that they have several videos with over 100,000 views. This may have led to a growth in subscribers and leading ASTONEWEEG'S channel to become what it is today. They've also been producing content for a longer time period than the OSE YouTubers, starting out with content like this.
So, do you want to watch the Explosionation?
Well, I like explosions.
And I like detonations.
In that case, okay. Since when was the blue screen able to go on the TV?
We interrupt your TV with a quadruple Barney error. Comedy World Barney was killed by Kayla.
Lil Peep's Barney was killed by a pacifist. Chippy Peep's Barney was killed by
I think that's enough of that. Thankfully, not all of ASTONEWEEG'S videos are like that. Most of them are animations or short memes, and many of them are inspired or have characters from the show Battle for BFDI, which itself stands for Battle for Dream Island, or BFDI. For brevity's sake, the show is often abbreviated to BFB. Here are a few short examples of what I mean.
Oh no.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's...
Man, I feel so bored. Let me watch YouTube. Hello, we are a generic object show. Holy crud, I need me to make...
Hopefully that gave you a taste of what I'm referring to. Weeg has also done a few Super Mario Maker 2 streams with a camera pointing at their Nintendo Switch. What's interesting about these videos is that they have, or had as I should say, as these have now been taken down, a considerable amount of dislikes. The reason for these dislikes are likely because these streams were done around the time when Weeg's controversy was beginning to swell to a serious size. Speaking of, let's discuss Weeg's more controversial side. Let me take you back to July of 2020, when the summer was beginning. A guy named That One Weird Person, I guess, was posting garbage videos and getting 500 views, and Weeg had about 9,000 subscribers. All seemed well for Weeg, but it was around this time that several controversial statements of theirs began to surface in the form of Google Docs. These documents featured several pages of description and evidence that portrayed Weeg as a rather problematic person. Here are a few of the main ones I could find that hadn't been deleted. I'll be linking all of these in the description if you wish to take a more in-depth look at the documents. The first one we'll be looking at is the document written by CJ, or Let's of Hatties, who was a good friend of Weeg's for a decent period of time, even receiving a birthday gift in the form of an upload. The document is titled Speaking Up, has 24 pages, and mostly contains screenshots of CJ's DMs with Weeg, which contain a few red flags, such as asking for definitions of sexual words, asking for conjoinment art of two of CJ's characters, and more. An update to the document was released soon after, once Weeg released their own document about CJ and another person named Cider Ramiz. I'll talk about Weeg's document in more depth in a few minutes. This update was focused on debunking the document while also addressing a few other important things. There was also another update which addressed the claims that CJ sent an inappropriate message in a server with minors in it, but this was apparently a misconception on Weeg's behalf, as grinding referred to the type of grinding done in video games, and CD stood for Cube Defense, a type of defense game on Roblox. The next document we should be looking at is the one written by Cider Ramiz entitled I'm Not Hiding Anymore, a 28-page long document that begins with a description of how Cider attempted to end their own life before the release of CJ's document, by bludgeoning themselves to death and attempting to drown themselves in a bathtub. The beginning also features some of the things that Weeg did to Cider, such as drawing Cider conjoined with another OSC member named Cupquaint, being emotionally abusive, asking sexual questions about Cider, CJ, and CJ's partner Sam, being in a polyamorous group in a public server with minors, and asking to watch them have sex to, quote, prepare for the future. But there is unfortunately a lack of evidence to prove this. The main part of the document shows screenshots between Weeg and Cider's sister about Cider breaking up with Weeg, which features a large amount of guilt tripping on Weeg's end. Meanwhile, the end of the document adds to the accusations against Weeg, without much evidence unfortunately, while also requesting for people to not harass Weeg. The third document that I could find is called Regarding Weeg, written by a user named Kafiko. This document is shorter than the other two, only around 8 pages long, but it still contains quite a bit of evidence against Weeg, such as Weeg asking for Kafiko to draw her OCs as conjoined twins, and some more guilt tripping. Similarly to Cider Ramiz's document, it also contains a disclaimer at the end asking people to not harass them. The second to last document I found is called ASTONEWEEG'S plus Other Mental Ventings, written by a user named Papishmo. This document is, similarly to the previous document, short in comparison to the other documents I've mentioned, at only 6 pages long. The document details Papishmo's experiences with dating Weeg, which, as you might have guessed, didn't quite go to plan. Weeg chose to make the relationship public when their controversy was beginning to grow, which led to Papishmo being heavily harassed by people who were anti-Weeg. In addition, Weeg acted, quote, very lovey towards Papishmo when they decided to break up, including wishing for a new partner. The Weeg section of the document ends with one sentence: please do not interact with me if you support Weeg. Finally, I'd like to mention the document that Weeg made to show their side of the story, entitled My Message. The document is 14 pages long and talks about most of the important accusations. The chapters are the conjoinment fascination, which clarifies that Weeg has an interest in conjoinment but not a fetish. Those hypersexual questions, which states that the questions were intended to be sincere. The threats and intent behind the doc, which shows screenshots of people harassing Weeg. Regarding CJ/Let's of Hatties, which unsurprisingly talks about Weeg's experience with CJ, the smaller accusations, which talks about the minor accusations, and conclusion and closing remarks. Despite my brief descriptions, Weeg does apologise for some of their acts against other people, such as drawing an image of their OC killing someone else's OC, along with this video of a similar act. They also apologised for the wording of their, quote, hypersexual questions, and the way they discussed their conjoinment tendencies, along with a few other things. And that's about everything involving Weeg discussing Google Docs that I could find. This isn't a comprehensive list of all the documents about Weeg, but I hope it gave you a taste of what Weeg has been accused of. Now, I feel it's appropriate to talk about Weeg's time as an animator for BFB. On the 14th of February 2020, with Weeg at around 7,500 subscribers, the creators of BFB, Jack and Jellyfy, uploaded a video looking for new people to join their team and work on BFB, including animators. Weeg decided to apply for the role, uploading an audition on the 19th of February. In the description, Weeg wrote that they were under a high amount of mental stress while working on it, but said that they felt it was worth it. The audition received praise from commenters, one person even saying, if Jack and Jellyfy doesn't accept you, they don't know what they're doing. Weeg ended up getting accepted and first animated a scene for the show in episode 17. They continued to animate for the next few episodes of the show, but around the release of episode 21, Weeg's controversy was beginning to grow, and a number of the documents being released wanted Weeg fired from the show. Also, as revealed in Weeg's document, one of the documents had the specific intent of getting Weeg fired. Despite the backlash, Weeg continued to animate for the show's next few episodes. They also animated for a few shorts for the channel, such as Tribute to Our First Commenter and Lo-Fi Beats to Yoil to. That is, until episode 23, where Weeg's name was not present in the credits. They had been fired as the community had wished, and many people on websites such as Twitter were pleased by this news. Several members of the OSC rejoiced at the firing, but by doing so, they opened up a larger problem that is unfortunately present in quite a few online dramas: severe harassment and doxing. One problem that is often commonplace in many internet dramas is the harassment of the person being accused. In several instances, people go incredibly far to essentially ruin the life of the person who is facing controversy as their way of dealing justice, but by doing this, they contribute to the problem more. Here are a few examples of Weeg being harassed over the drama. Weeg received several death threats from those who were dissatisfied with his behaviour. Weeg's parents' credit card got hacked and, while it hasn't been confirmed, Weeg had, quote, a sneaking suspicion that it got hacked by someone involved in the drama. Several homophobic and racist insults were used against Weeg. People began using profile pictures featuring Weeg's face, along with the face of their friends. Some began to ask around for Weeg's IP address and the location of their house. People began to tweet hashtag Weeg's over party in celebration of them getting fired. And that's about everything I could find involving Weeg's harassment. As I said at the beginning of the chapter, as well as at the very beginning, it's not worthwhile under any circumstances to harass someone for their actions, especially if that entails death threats and doxing. By taking part in the harassment of someone controversial or problematic, you become more of a problem than the person you're harassing for whatever reason. Now, after 22 minutes of talking, it's time to conclude. The tale of ASTONEWEEG'S is one of Google Docs, harassment, sexual exploitation, conjoinment fascination, and mental health. It's a tale that, despite having someone accused of many problematic things, is two-sided. On one hand, there's an animator who, if the allegations are to be believed, has exploited people and forced others to draw conjoinment art. But on the other hand, there are people who decide to take the opportunity to send death threats and attempt to dox Weeg. There has been a lot of discussion about Weeg, both positive and negative. Unfortunately, however, for a lot of dramas that involve back and forth conversations and harassment, the truth is never black and white. Okay, that was way too dramatic. So thank you for watching this video. It's taken about 3 months to make, but I'm pleased with how it's come out. A few things before I end this video. Firstly, I've included a transcript of this video in the description if you want to take a look at that. Secondly, if I've missed anything important in this video, let me know below and I'll add something to a pinned comment explaining it. Third, another thanks to the previews of this video, especially Matt Haha, who I forgot about originally when doing the recording of all the previews, so sorry about that. And finally, have a Merry Christmas. There's probably something I've forgotten to mention, and if there is, I'll put it in a pinned comment. See you soon-ish.